Good evening, friends. I'm Dr. Aajay Shah, and we are bringing another Facebook Live. We've been doing this Facebook Live on a regular basis for the last 3 months. As we have, gone through COVID-19 crisis, we have had a lot of extra time on our hand, and I have taken advantage of this extra time on our hand to learn myself and educate all my friends and family and all the followers about healthy lifestyle. Um, Hopefully this COVID-19 crisis will be over soon. I think all of us have gone through some hardship, some suffering, but at the same time, all of us have prevailed. Fortunately, most people have done well. We have kept the social distance, we have washed our hands. So fortunately, we have done well. Obviously, there are unfortunate people, 100,000 in America, who have died from COVID-19, and my heart goes out to all their family members and friends. At the same time, I sincerely believe that people who have maintained healthy lifestyle, people who don't have any chronic disease, people who don't have diabetes, heart failure, heart disease, high blood pressure, asthma, or any kind of other disease from smoking, typically have survived the coronavirus. So again, the chronic disease leads to complications from any illness, including from COVID-19. So staying healthy, in my opinion, is the best way you can fight off any viral infection. If we probably will go through various viruses over, next many decades, and virus will come and go, bacteria will come and go. But if you have a strong immune system, if you have a strong health, if you have a strong family support, if you have strong friends, then you probably will be able to withstand any kind of crisis coming on. And that crisis is not just any viral infection or bacterial infection. That crisis has to do with any kind of illness. People who unfortunately develop cancer, if their overall health is well, those patients do well. They survive the cancer long. As a matter of fact, the recurrence of cancer after remission is much low in people who are healthy, people who eat plant-based food. So again, staying healthy has tons and tons of benefits, not just in terms of COVID-19. Uh, Healthcare is very expensive, and staying healthy, saves you lots of money. We'll talk about that in today's lecture. So today I'm going to cover my signature lecture, which is how to live happy, healthy, and long. How to live happy, healthy, and long. We are on Facebook. We are almost 10,000 followers now. So if you're watching on Facebook, please share this on your Facebook page. Please invite your friends. If you feel like this healthy lifestyle movement is beneficial to you, please share with your friends and family. We are also on YouTube, Healthy Living with Dr. Aajay Shah. We have posted about 25 videos now. Please reach out to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and also watch those videos. So again, my main mission now, this stage in my life, I'm 57 years old now. My main mission in life is to stay healthy as much as I can myself, learn everything about healthy lifestyle. And as I learn, educate, teach, and motivate as many family members, as many friends, and as many followers. And I sincerely believe that doing this kind of mission together has the best chance of success. So we all are in it together. We all are actually equal team players. There are certain things you may know more than even I know. Just because you may have experience with it, it doesn't mean that you have to be in a healthcare field. It doesn't mean that you have to be a physician. I sincerely believe that every person can be a teacher when it comes down to healthy lifestyle. For example, my wife has adapted now healthy cooking, and she actually has turned into one of the best healthy cook you can ever find. So again, uh, uh, promoting a healthy lifestyle, teaching healthy lifestyle, learning healthy lifestyle is not a prerogative of a physician. Any person who has interest, any person who can read, who can watch YouTube videos, can become a healthy lifestyle promoter, teacher, and a coach. So again, I want all of you to be joining in this healthy lifestyle movement. Be a teacher, be a student, and let's do it together. So let's start today's lecture. So again, today's lecture is key to the uh, key to the long, healthy, and happy life. Again, it's a key to long, live up to 100, 110, live healthy, not just have a long life, but have a healthy life, the health span itself, and have a happy life, because obviously happiness and health goes hand in hand. I'm Dr. Aajay Shah. I am board certified in cardiology, board certified in lifestyle medicine. I've been practicing cardiology for last 25 years now, and lifestyle medicine for last 3 years. Just some quick disclaimer. This lecture obviously is not going to replace any medical care you need. So if you feel you're having any symptoms or if you're in need of any medical care, reach out to your physician. I have no conflict of interest. Everything I'm going to teach you today, I'm going to show you today is without any kind of financial interest or promotion of any product. And obviously, if we ever make this lecture a lecture to to have a small fees involved, all the money will go back to this movement. Big thank you to my wife. She has been supporter for last 35 years. She's been a great supporter in this healthy lifestyle movement. She has turned herself into a great coach in terms of health, in terms of a healthy cook. Matter of fact, I'm actually excited to share that she will be on Chef AJ Live on June 13th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Chef AJ is one of the major celebrity, I would say, in terms of a vegan world or whole food plant-based world. She has like 90,000 followers on her Facebook page, 80 or 90,000 followers on her YouTube channel, and she has been a big promoter of healthy lifestyle. So both Jayshree and myself are very excited, actually very honored to be on Chef AJ's Facebook Live on June 13th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I definitely am very thankful to all my mentors who has taught me healthy lifestyle, including Dr. Joe Furman, Dr. Greger, Dr. Dean Ornish, Dr. Campbell, Dr. Neil Barnard, and many other ones. I follow them. I read their books. I attend conferences where they teach. I met them personally. So I think they have taught me a lot about healthy lifestyle. Definitely, I want to thank my beloved patients, because without them, I would not have learned all this thing for the last 40 years. Matter of fact, it's interesting that 2020 is actually the year 40 years when I went in the medical school. 40 years when I went in the medical school. So I feel sometimes kind of getting old. 40 years since medical school, I started medical school. Matter of fact, we were going to have a 40-year reunion for our medical school class, but because it's COVID-19, that reunion is on hold. But it's been 40 years since I started the medical school. 40 years, 40 years. So I cannot believe that the time has gone so quickly for me. So again, thanks to my patients. And I also like to thank Hannah, our social media director. She has been also very instrumental in promoting our page, designing all the slides, and doing all the legwork and work behind the screen. So again, big thanks to Hannah. Like I said, I'm board certified in cardiology and lifestyle medicine. I've been practicing cardiology for 25 years. My philosophy was always a preventative philosophy. I always wanted to prevent the disease, because not only prevention is much more cheaper, but actually it's much more safer. As you all know, medications have side effects. Procedures and surgeries also can lead to complications, and the best way to do is to avoid the medications and avoid procedures and surgery. So again, prevention is the best philosophy. I've been a lifelong vegetarian. I grew up vegetarian. That means I had a dairy. We had mostly milk. We didn't have much cheese in India when I was growing up. For last few years, I've been almost a vegan. Once in a while, we have a cheese or milk-based product, but I'm mostly a vegan. I've gone through my own personal health journey, which we'll do it some other time, but I lost myself about 50 pounds and reversed my pre-diabetes. So again, I've gone through a personal experience as a patient also in terms of healthy lifestyle. And we actually started this healthy living with Dr. Aajay Shah LLC. And like I said, now we have about 10,000 followers. I'm also trying to be a life coach, because I realized that health and happiness only happens if we are happy with our life. That means, career success success as a parent, success as a spouse, success as a sibling, success as a son or daughter. So again, becoming successful at life also is very important to be healthy and to be happy. So I'm trying to also become a life coach. I recorded some separate videos. They're all on YouTube. I just recorded one on how to be happy. It's a great video. You should watch it. Great slides. I also recorded one on Stoicism, which is a great Greek Roman philosophy. How to be strong. How to be how to resist any kind of fall and how to get up from any kind of fall. So again, look out for those videos also on YouTube. So let's see first about living long. Like we're going to cover today living long, living happy, and living healthy. Let's see what is in terms of living long. Average longevity in America for US, male is 78 years. Average longevity for female in America, in US, is 80 years. So 78 for male, 80 for female. Highest longevity in the world is Monaco, a small country, almost 90 years. And second highest is Japan. So if Japan can do it as a developed country, rich country, we should be able to do it too, I think. But unfortunately, we are not able to do it, which we'll show you. Hawaii is the highest longevity in America, is 81, and the lowest is Mississippi, only 75 years old. So again, in Mississippi, people live 6 years less than Hawaii, which I think to me is kind of really a shame because we live in the same country. We all have a same, healthcare, same insurance, same healthcare facilities, same doctors. Why we live 6 years less? But we'll talk why Mississippi lives 6 years less as we go in the lecture. And that's because of the lifestyle in Mississippi versus lifestyle in Hawaii. It has nothing to do with medical care, nothing to do with the genes. It has to do with our lifestyle. America, actually, United States is actually ranked 43rd in the world in terms of longevity. So United States is ranked 43rd in terms of longevity. Again, we are the strongest nation. We are the richest nation. Per capita income, we have one of the highest per capita income. And despite of that, we are 43rd in longevity. And it's because of our lifestyle. I will keep talking about our lifestyle. The whole mission, whole movement I'm promoting is about healthy lifestyle. And it's the lifestyle we have in America, which has led to many chronic disease and lowering of our longevity, as well as lowering of our health span. Matter of fact, last 10 years in America of our life involves taking more than 5 medications, sometimes more than 10 medications, having multiple procedures per year, and having many times admitted to nursing home and be crippled and be disabled. So again, last 10 years in America is not very fun, is not very happy, is not very healthy. So not only we live less, but we also have last 10 years in a very grim way. So that needs to change. And how can we change it? Changing is the healthy lifestyle. We'll talk about it. So how is the physical health? We talked about the longevity. In terms of our physical health, heart disease is #1 killer in America. And that's been like that for last 100 years. So for last 100 years, heart disease is #1 killer. One would think, being a smart, intelligent society, one would think that we will change ourselves. We will learn from our lessons. But unfortunately, despite of last 100 years, heart disease killing us, we have not learned the lesson, and we are not able to change our lifestyle, which we will talk how we can change it. Cancer is #2 cause of death. Actually, it's interesting, in Canada, heart disease has become now #2. So Canada is learning faster than us as Americans. 12% of Americans have diabetes. I'm giving a big talk on diabetes on June 6th, actually, at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So please stay tuned for that. But diabetes in 1980 was only about 3 to 4%. In 2020, it's 12 to 14%. 12 to 14%. So in 40 years, we have quadrupled our prevalence of diabetes. And if you look at the African Americans, if you look at the Hispanics, the rate of diabetes is almost 15 to 16%. Very high, because diabetes being one of the chronic disease affecting every system in the body. And average diabetic lives actually 10 years less than non-diabetic. So again, diabetes is a very bad disease, and more people are getting it. And that's because of obesity. 38% of people are obese, And obesity is defined as a body mass index above 30. So body mass index you can calculate by online calculator. You all should know your body mass index. You all should know your body mass index. So body mass index is above 30, that's defined as obesity. 38% of Americans are obese. By 2030, actually 50% of Americans will be obese, 50%. My feeling is that year will be probably 2027 or 2026 when 50% of Americans will be obese. And that's because what we eat, which we'll talk about it. And like I said, most chronic disease are because of our lifestyle. It's not because of genes, because we did not have a lot of this chronic disease 100 years ago. And genes don't change in 100 years. Gene takes thousands of years to change. So we are suffering with our chronic diseases because of our lifestyle, not because of our genes. So when somebody tells me, a patient or a friend, somebody tells me that, oh, my mom had diabetes, so I have diabetes too. I partly said that maybe your mom contributed small percent, maybe 2%, but 98% it's you who got the diabetes, and that's your lifestyle. It's not your mom's genes. So don't cop out saying that I'm genetically at risk of developing diabetes or heart disease. You can turn off your genes. You know, we have talked about it in other lectures. It's called epigenetics, where actually you can turn off your bad genes. You can turn off your bad genes by healthy lifestyle. So again, if you have a healthy lifestyle, you can turn off your bad genes. So let's talk about, we talked about the longevity, we talked about the physical health. Let's talk about mental health, because we're also covering topic on happiness also. So in terms of mental health, America is ranked third in terms of mental health disorder. 46% are at risk of developing mental health in their lifetime. So that's almost half of the people. West Virginia is the highest percentage of mental illness. Almost 5% of male have depression. 8.7% of females suffer from depression. 18% have anxiety. So very high rate of anxiety. It says that many Americans will go through one attack of anxiety per week, almost at 25 to 30%. 0.4% have severe mental disorder like psychosis, and suicide rate actually is also significantly high, 13 per 100,000, 13 per 100,000. And the reason longevity for last 3 years in America has gone down is because partly because of young age suicide as well as opioid crisis. So again, for last 100 years, our longevity every year had gone up. Every year we gain few months for last 100 years. But last 3 years, we actually lost few months of longevity. And that's partly because of our lifestyle, partly because of the young age suicide, and partly because of opioid crisis, all made by us. It's kind of a shame that we are living less than 2 years ago as an average lifespan. So in terms of healthcare economics, America has a fee-for-service model with a private insurance. That means I don't get paid unless somebody gets sick. And to keep somebody healthy, typically I don't get paid much, which is, in my opinion, exactly opposite. I think there is a Chinese proverb that doctors should be paid based on how healthy the person is, not how sick the person is. So in America, we actually pay the doctor for sick care, not for the health care. So whenever you want to say that it's a healthcare system, actually it's a sick care system, not a healthcare system, because we actually take care of sick people and we get paid for taking care of sick people, not to keep people healthy. A lot of the Western countries, a lot of developed countries have nationalized healthcare. Obviously, national healthcare and private care have its own plus and minus. I sincerely believe that we could probably do better with nationalized healthcare. I'm not sure. There are obviously plus and minus, but if there is some form of hybrid product, I would be up for it. I wouldn't mind taking hybrid product where some kind of universal healthcare coverage is offered, and every American is covered with a reasonable healthcare, at least in terms of the major issues. Not obviously, like transplants and other things, but at least for the basic healthcare, every American should be covered. We are actually ranked number 1 in terms of healthcare spending. So we spend about $4,500 per person, extremely high, almost like 3 or 4 times more than the next country spends, and probably 20 or 30 times more than many other developing countries spend. And many developing countries actually have a longer lifespan, better health than even what we have. But most procedures and medications in America cost 5 to 10 times more than many other countries. So again, we need to change some of this thing. Obviously, there is some progress made over the last 15 years, but we need to make more progress. So again, we cover the longevity, we cover physical health, we cover the mental health, we cover the healthcare economics. So we spend, like I said, we spend the highest in the world, but we are ranked 43rd in terms of longevity. So there is some kind of wrong with this picture. How come we spend highest, but we are not number one in terms of longevity? And that's because of, partly because of our healthcare system. It's not geared towards helping to prevent the disease, and partly because of our own lifestyle, our habit in terms of eating fast food, fast service, and fast everything with life, fast cars, fast planes, everything with life and being fast. And so how can we change that as a nation and at an individual level, as a family, as friends? How can we change that? How can we be healthier? How can we live the longest in the world? And those things we can do with simple, healthy lifestyle change. Simple, healthy lifestyle change. Again, many times people say it's very hard to change my lifestyle, but to be honest with you, I've done it. Once you get into a habit of eating healthy, once you get into a habit of exercising, we'll cover all the different pillars. Once you get into a habit of reading about health books, and also start watching YouTube videos on healthy lifestyle, it becomes almost like an addiction, and you want to be healthier and healthier. You get in a competition with your family, with your friend who's healthier, who's eating healthier food, who's exercising on a regular basis. And again, those things becomes almost a fun thing to do. So again, healthy lifestyle, initially slightly hard, but once you get into the habit of it, it's actually addictive. It makes you feel so good. It makes you feel so good that you just feel like, you just think like, why I did not do it before. Whenever I put my patients on the healthy lifestyle change, when they come back in a month, their smile is bigger, they're walking faster, they're lost weight, they're sleeping better, they're more energetic, they're more happy, they're more involved with their family, with their spouse, their relationship at their church. They're better. They'll become a better worker. They become a better citizen. I just feel like I just turned that person into a completely new person, like a phoenix. Just change, complete transformation. So again, healthy lifestyle change can do that. So what is lifestyle modification? Lifestyle modification has 6 pillars. These 6 pillars are actually defined by College of Lifestyle Medicine. And I'm board certified in lifestyle medicine. I took my boards 3 years ago. I'm certified. As a matter of fact, it's kind of something to brag that I scored second highest among all the people that took. And there were only 2 cardiologists. Most of them were primary care physicians. And primary care physician obviously knows a lot of things about lifestyle. But even as a cardiologist, I was able to score second highest among the whole group. So there are lifestyle physicians now. We have about, I believe, 800 or 900 lifestyle physicians in the country. I'm one of them. If you are looking for healthy lifestyle change, reach out for lifestyle physician. Many physicians are becoming board certified in lifestyle medicine. I think my town and surrounding community do not have that many lifestyle physicians, but I'm sure you can find one nearby your place. You can go to American College of Lifestyle Medicine website and figure out who is board certified in lifestyle medicine. So what are the 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle? Number one pillar, the most important pillar is nutrition. The most important pillar is nutrition, what we eat. All pillars are important, but most important pillar is nutrition. Second pillar is exercise. Third pillar is sleep. Fourth pillar is stress management. Fifth pillar is substance abuse, including alcohol. Sixth pillar is relationship, including family and friends. So again, there are important 6 pillars. It covers you as a complete person: physical health, mental health, spiritual health, and community health. So again, all 6 pillars are important. All 6 pillars are interrelated. They work together. They work with each other. They help each other. They work, matter of fact, in concert together. Just like in in a symphony. They work as a symphony. They actually promote each other. Matter of fact, when they work together, the benefits of each other are multiplied exponentially. So when you add nutrition to the exercise, not just it becomes double, it becomes 10 times more. So having all 6 pillars is very important. So let's start with the most important pillar. Most important pillar, again, is nutrition. So standard American diet, you know, is abbreviated as a SAD, SAD, truly is a sad diet, because 65% of calories in standard American diet comes from processed food, 65%, 25% come from animal products, and 10% only come from plant-based food. So we eat a lot of processed food. And that's something new for the last 50, 60 years. We did not eat that much processed food 70, 80 years ago. Most meal in America contains some animal product. For example, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Many times people have a milk with the breakfast or bacon with the breakfast. Dinner, they will have a chicken sandwich. Lunch, they will have chicken sandwich, and dinner, they will have a fish. So many people I see as patients, and many friends I know have an animal product in breakfast, animal product in lunch, and animal product in dinner. That needs to change. I will talk what animal products can do to you. Sadly, the most popular plant-based food, I want to ask, you can read on the slide, but I want to ask the people who are not watching the slide to put any guess. The most popular plant-based food is French fries and ketchup. Kind of funny, but at the same time sad, at the same time sad, at the same time to be ashamed of, that our most popular plant-based food is French fries and ketchup. French fries obviously extremely unhealthy as a red meat, and ketchup obviously with a lot of sugar, a lot of processed food. So again, those are the 2 most popular plant-based food. So if you look at the true whole food plant-based, that means eating raw and cooked vegetables without oil, having small nuts, small seeds, having fruits, that's probably less than 2%, less than 3% of our calories. So 97% of our calories come from unhealthy food. 97% of our calories come from unhealthy food. 60% of children and 50% of adults have a sugary beverage. That includes drinking Coke or Pepsi or Gatorade for that thing. Even people think it's an energy drink, but in my opinion, that has a lot of bad effects. And even juice are not healthy also. We have realized now that juice actually can cause diabetes, pre-diabetes, even can cause Alzheimer's disease, dementia, obesity. So again, drinking juice, in my opinion, is also not the right thing to do. We eat a lot of salt. Americans eat about 8.8 grams of salt every day. That needs to be about less than 5 grams, 5.5 grams per day. 30% of Americans have 1 alcoholic drink every day. So a lot of people drink alcohol on a regular basis. So again, I said eating, or what we eat, is the most important pillar. And most chronic disease actually happens because what we eat and what we drink every day. What we eat and what we drink. All the pillars, if you don't follow, can lead to chronic disease, but what we eat and what we drink is the most common reason for all the chronic disease in America, including obesity, including high blood pressure, including diabetes, including cancer, including many of the chronic disease. So again, most chronic disease happens because what we eat and what we drink. So what is the solution? You know, obviously, problem is in front of us. We know what the problem is. Most Americans know what the problem is. But what is the solution? Solution is simple. Solution is simple. And solution is a whole food, plant-based diet with minimum or no oil. Again, whole food, plant-based diet with minimum or no oil. And we will define what it means in a second. So again, nutrition is the most important pillar. And if you fix the nutrition, you probably can fix 50% or 70% of chronic disease. All pillars are important, but nutrition is the most important pillar. So what should we eat? We should be eating enough calories to maintain our body mass index below 25. In my opinion, it should be below 22. But let's say 25 for now. If your BMI, body mass index, is about 25, you should be eating less calories than your body is going to burn. So you can calculate how many calories you're going to burn per day by online calculator based on your basal metabolic rate and based on the activity or exercise you do, and then you can say what is your total caloric expenditure for the day. And then if your BMI, body mass index, is about 25, try to have a deficit of 500 calories per day. That will give you about 1 pound of weight loss per week. And if you want to lose weight faster, you can create bigger deficit also. But I think losing 1 pound a week is a very safe and very fair. And that's what I recommend. Typically lose probably maximum 1 to 1.5 pounds per week. And if you do that on a consistent base, that's a 50 pounds a year, and that's a great weight loss. So again, eat calories to get your BMI, body mass index, below 25. If your body mass index is already below 25, then eat the calories to maintain that BMI. So again, what is whole food plant-based diet? Whole food plant-based diet means eating vegetables, 1 pound of raw vegetables and 1 pound of cooked vegetables, 1 pound of raw vegetables and 1 pound of cooked vegetables. The vegetables can include cruciferous vegetables, which are broccoli, kale, lettuce, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, bok choy, and many more. So cruciferous vegetables. Also allium family vegetables like onions and garlic, and then also having a cup of beans or lentils. Matter of fact, all the blue zone people, which we'll cover hopefully tomorrow or day after, blue zone people, where people live long, healthy and happy, they always have beans or lentils on every day. So again, having small amount of beans and lentils is very important. Beans are actually one of the most important prebiotic. Many of you have heard the term called prebiotic because it provides fibers to the probiotic, which are the bacteria in your colon, bacteria in your gut. So that the beans also actually very important to maintain a healthy microbiome. Lately, I'm sure many of you have heard about it. Lately, microbiome has been a hot topic. We know many diseases happen because of unhealthy microbiome. That means unhealthy bacteria in our colon, in our gut. And to feed the healthy bacteria, you need beans. Beans are the best way to feed the healthy bacteria. So we should be eating vegetables. We should be eating beans or lentils. Definitely eating fruits on a regular basis. Fruits has many phytochemicals, many antioxidants, and fruits are very important for every day. We should be also eating small amount of seeds, just 1 tablespoon of flaxseed or chia seed. That provides us omega-3, and we know omega-3 is anti-inflammatory, and daily seeds are also very important. If your body mass index is below 25, you could eat 1 ounce, small amount of nuts. But if your body mass index is above 25, I highly recommend not to eat any nuts. Nuts is one of the most calorie dense food. That means it has a tons of calorie packed per pound or per ounce. So that way, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to bring your body mass index below 25, I would say don't have any nuts. Don't have any nuts. And definitely, I recommend no processed food or less than 5% processed food. Like I said, 65% of calorie in America comes from processed food. I recommend 0 processed food or less than 5% of processed food. You know, once in a while, we all have chips from a bag. Once in a while, we all have a protein bar, but typically we should be eating whole food, plant-based as much as possible. So what are the benefits of whole food plant-based food? Why I keep saying we should eat whole food plant-based food? Number 1 benefit, plant-based food is the one which gives you fiber. Fiber is, in my opinion, one of the most important nutrient. And as we all know, we don't digest the fiber. We don't get any calorie from fiber. We don't get any micronutrients from fiber, but fiber still is the most important nutrient. And the reason is fiber actually feeds the good bacteria in our colon, in our gut, and fiber actually leads to healthy microbiome. Fiber also regulates our bowel movement, so it prevents constipation. It prevents diverticulosis, which is like a small pouching in the colon. And that can also lead to many times complications. Fiber also can prevent prediabetes and diabetes. Matter of fact, fiber actually also can prevent colon cancer. And there's enough proof that fiber can lower cholesterol. Matter of fact, fiber also can lower estrogen level if estrogen levels are high. So fiber, very important. Matter of fact, fiber is proven to increase the lifespan. It's been studied that when you increase fiber by 10 gram, you have a 10% less chance of mortality. So again, when you increase fiber by 10 gram, the recommended amount of fiber is 30 gram per day, 30 gram per day. Most Americans get less than 10 gram per day. And that's because of animal products. Animal products contain zero fiber. Animal products contain zero fiber. So steak, chicken, fish, or, milk, cheese has zero fiber, literally zero fiber. So sometimes I ask people, people think that the steak has some fiber, but steak has zero fiber. So that way, most Americans eat animal products. A lot of calories come from animal products, and it brings zero fiber. A lot of processed food also has a very low fiber, almost has no fiber. Matter of fact, you can read on the label when you eat any processed food on the bag, how much fiber is there, and you can realize the fiber is very low in processed food. So fiber typically comes from unprocessed whole food plant-based diet, whole food plant-based diet. So again, if you remember one thing, remember that don't eat any food which doesn't have a fiber. And general rule of thumb from me, I try to follow myself, and I also ask you to follow that if there is a less than about say 2 to 3 gram of fiber per 100 calories, don't eat that food. That means it doesn't have enough fiber per calorie. The second benefit of whole food plant-based diet is phytochemicals. Phytochemicals only come from plants. Animal products doesn't provide phytochemicals. Antioxidants also come from plants, and antioxidants are very important to prevent the oxidative damage. Most plant-based food are very low in saturated fat, particularly if you eat vegetables and fruits. And obviously, saturated fat can lead to a lot of issues, including heart disease, heart attacks, strokes, and many other issues, dementia. Plant-based food typically is very high in water content. So that way, when you eat plant-based food, it gives you water. And water doesn't have obviously any calories. So that way you feel full without getting extra calories. So again, most animal products are very low water content. And again, whole food plant-based diet, as long as you don't use any oil, has a very low caloric density. So when you eat low caloric dense food, that means you can eat a volume of food. You can eat a lot of food without much calories, because when you have a low caloric density per pound, total calories are less. So to give you an example, 1 pound of broccoli, 1 pound of kale, 1 pound of cabbage is 100 to 200 calories, versus 1 pound of oil is about 4,000 calories. 1 pound of chicken is about 2,000 calories. So if you eat 1 pound of broccoli, 1 pound of kale, most people don't eat it, but in case if you eat it, you will feel full immediately, but you will get only 200 calories. Versus if you eat 1 pound of meat, you will get 2,000 calories. So again, try to eat low calorie dense food, and typically that's only from whole food plant-based diet without any oil. So let's cover types of nutrients. Everybody talks about, like, I want to follow certain macro ratio, macronutrient ratio. So let's see what are the typical macros. So there are 3 macronutrients: carbohydrate, protein, and fat. Carbohydrate, protein, and fat. That's where our calorie breakdown typically is. So people said that I want to follow certain macro ratio. All of you, many of you are aware that keto diet has been on fashion right now. Everybody's trying to follow keto diet. In my opinion, keto diet is going to kill more people than atomic bomb. Keto diet is going to kill more people than any bad event ever happened. So keto diet, in my opinion, is no. Keto diet typically means eating less than 30 gram of fiber. Eating less than 30 gram of fiber. Nobody ever in human history has eaten that much low fiber. Again, nobody ever in human history has eaten that low fiber, that low carb ever. So carbohydrate less than 30 gram is only been around for the last 50 years since Atkins and now keto diet, but nobody has eaten less than 200 or 300 gram of carb ever in human history. Even people talk about paleo diet, where people eat no processed food, no beans, no grain, no milk. Even in ancient paleo people, humans were eating about 100 gram of fiber. So again, that means they were eating a lot of carb, because typically carb comes from plant-based food, and plant-based food gives fiber. So if even ancient paleo people were eating a lot of meat, they were also eating a lot of vegetables and fruits. So keto diet, again, to repeat, is no. I know some of you probably are surprised. Some of you are slightly disappointed. Some of you are slightly possibly angry that why Dr. Shah is saying no keto. But let me tell you, there is no benefit of keto. Even if you have type 2 diabetes, there is no benefit of keto. I will be giving a talk on diabetes on June 6th. Please stay tuned at 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock Eastern time. And I will cover all the low carb for type 2 diabetes, low carb for type 1 diabetes. And I have a method how to lower your blood sugar safely, how to stop insulin, how to stop some of the medications without following keto diet. Keto diet definitely is no. The reason I covered this much on keto diet because I sincerely believe keto diet is going to kill more people than anything ever invented. So if you're following keto, read more about it, talk to me, message me, text me, I'll explain you. Please stay tuned for our diabetes talk. So what is the ideal macro ratio? What is the ideal macro ratio? Ideal macro ratio is 70% carb, 70 to 80%, but 70% carb, 20% fat, and 10% protein. 10% protein. So a lot of people think the protein is low, but I'll explain you when we go to protein macro. Other part is micronutrients, which are typically phytochemicals, antioxidants, and then vitamins, minerals, and water. So these are the types of nutrients: macronutrient, micronutrient, vitamins, minerals, and water. So let's talk about carbohydrate. Carbohydrate are simple carbohydrate or complex carbohydrate. Simple carbohydrate are sugar, white bread, white rice. Anything which is very simple, very processed. We should not be eating that. The reason obesity has happened, the reason carbohydrate has been getting a bad name, the reason carbohydrate has been getting a bad name is because everybody eating the bad carb. It's a simple carb. So when I say eat more carb, I meant eat more whole food, plant-based, complex carb. Don't eat simple carb. I'm definitely against simple carb. I'm definitely against the carb which is processed. So again, I'm not saying eat more carb. I'm saying eat more complex, whole food, plant-based carb. So again, I hope you understand that I'm not promoting carb in a blind way. I'm promoting only the healthy carb. So again, eat healthy carb. The second macronutrient is fat. Fat can be saturated fat, which can be very detrimental to our health. Everybody knows saturated fat. Saturated fat can lead to heart attack, strokes, dementia, many other things. So saturated fat definitely is no. We should be eating less than 20 grams, preferably less than 10 grams of saturated fat. Second is a poly and monosaturated fat. They both are beneficial to health. The other thing is essential fatty acids. So omega-6 and omega-3, those are the essential fatty acids. They both are important. They both are essential. We need both of them. But at the same time, the ratio is very important. Because of the vegetable oils over last 60, 70 years, because of the vegetable oils, omega-6 in our diet has gone up significantly high. Omega-6 has significantly gone high. Matter of fact, omega-6 to 3 ratio, which used to be 4 to 500 years ago, now it's almost 12 to 15 to 1. So we eat a lot more omega-6 than omega-3. And omega-6 is the one which is pro-inflammatory. That means it causes chronic inflammation, and we need to definitely lower the omega-6. And that's the reason I always say no oil or minimum oil, preferably no oil. That means no vegetable oils. That means, a lot of the like a cottonseed oil or sunflower oil or other things. If you want to eat a very small amount of oil, you could use olive oil or canola oil or avocado oil. But again, in my opinion, oil should be minimized. Preferably, oil should be zero. We should be increasing omega-3 in our diet, and typically you can do that with just 1 tablespoon of flaxseed. You don't need walnuts if your BMI is about 25. But again, if you eat low amount of omega-6, you don't need omega-3 necessarily. So again, key thing is to lower your omega-6. That means lower vegetable oils in diet as much as possible. So again, I said zero oil is ideal. Vegetable oil, definitely we should not be eating. We should be having very small, if you want very small oil, extra virgin olive oil, canola oil, or avocado oil. Uh, the last macronutrient is the protein. Protein, in my opinion, has been unnecessarily been marketed as the most important macronutrient. But actually, protein, in my opinion, from my studying as a lifestyle physician, as a cardiologist, as a person who has read a lot of things about nutrition, protein is the least important macronutrient. Matter of fact, now we have enough proof that people who eat high amount of protein live less. People who eat high amount of protein live less. Unfortunately, nature has created enough balance that if you eat whole food plant-based diet, you will get adequate protein. We need about 50 to 60 grams of protein per day, 50 to 60 grams of protein. Whenever I have a personal trainer or whenever I have any kind of nutrition counseling, most people say, make sure you get enough protein. We all get enough protein. There is no protein deficiency in America. So again, if anybody says eat more protein, say thank you and say, I eat enough protein. We all eat enough protein. And we have enough proof that people who eat twice the protein, most Americans eat 100 to 120 grams of protein. Some Americans eat 200 grams of protein, 200. And then we wonder why we have this chronic disease, why we have more evidence, more prevalence of cancer, why we live long, why we live less. So again, protein definitely needs to be eat less than what we eat in America. Same thing applies to branched chain amino acids. Branched chain amino acids have been really into fashion right now. Every protein powder, every protein bar, every protein shake, every personal trainer is recommending branched chain amino acids. But branched chain amino acids also has been shown now to stimulate certain pathways, which can actually make you live long and also can cause more cancer. So again, definitely don't eat too much protein. You will get enough protein if you eat whole food plant-based diet. And you need only about 60 grams of protein per day, no more than that. So why I keep promoting, why I keep pushing whole food plant-based diet, whole food plant-based diet with no oil, is because animal-based products has many, many side effects. Animal protein actually raises IGF-1 level, insulin-like growth factor level 1 level, which can actually cause many cancers. Eggs also have been found to cause type 2 diabetes. Processed meat like bacon, hot dogs, salami are also considered class 1 carcinogen. So again, processed meat, if you are listening to this lecture or if you listen to this lecture on YouTube, remember this. Processed meat like bacon, hot dogs, salami are class 1 carcinogen. So smoking is cigarettes are class 1 carcinogen. These are also class 1 carcinogen. So when somebody says that I had a bacon this morning, essentially the person had a cigarette that morning. So again, if you are not a smoker, you should not be eating bacon either because the risk of both of them are same. They both are class 1 carcinogen. Red meat also is a carcinogen, class 2 carcinogen. So minimize red meat. Hopefully you can completely avoid red meat. Most sources of animal products also contain high amount of saturated fat and cholesterol, and that also causes heart attacks, strokes, dementia, Alzheimer's disease. So again, it's just not the protein in the animal products, but also the saturated fat. Animal-based products contain choline, which can cause production of TMAO, which can also lead to inflammation and heart disease. Animal-based products contain heme iron, which can also cause heart disease. Plant-based iron is a non-heme iron, and typically you only absorb what's needed and does not have any side effects. So again, heme iron from the animal-based products is also very detrimental. Many people said that if you become plant-based, you don't get enough iron. That's not true. Plants have enough iron, and it's more of a healthy type of iron, non-heme iron. Dairy and breast cancer is also been very proven link. So women who eat regular yogurt thinking that they're eating healthy food have a higher chance of breast cancer. So dairy should be avoided as much as possible also. Same with cheese. Cheese, in my opinion, is one of the most addictive substance because it has a thing called casomorphin, which is essentially a morphine type substance from the cow's milk. So cheese is very concentrated in casomorphin, and that's the reason a lot of people are addicted to cheese. Cheese has a salt, cheese has a saturated fat, Cheese is very calorie dense, means per pound cheese has a tons of calorie. Cheese has estrogen, and obviously cheese has no fiber. So the cheese is, in my opinion, one of the worst food you can eat. If you eat once in a while, I understand that, but if you eat cheese every day, that's not pretty healthy. So again, animal-based products also promote more production of advanced N-glycation products, which is essentially from combining amino acid and sugar. And those products have implicated into heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, diabetes, skin wrinkling, and actually can cause reduced longevity. So again, animal-based products also can cause advanced N-glycation products. Animal-based products are very detrimental in patients with kidney disease. So in my opinion, if you have any kidney disease, avoid animal protein, animal products as much as possible. Let's talk about salt. Americans eat a lot of salt. Like I said, we eat about 8.8 grams of salt. We should be eating less than 5 grams of salt, preferably less than 3 grams of salt. That means about 1,500 milligrams of sodium, 1,500 milligrams of sodium. So if you take any 100 calorie food, and if it has a more than 100 milligram of sodium, you should not be eating that food. So again, 100 calorie of food, 100 milligram of sodium. If you keep remembering that rule, that 100 calorie of food, if it's a more than 100 milligram of sodium, you should not be eating that. We also eat lots of sugar. We should be eating maximum 30 grams per day. We are typically eating probably 3 to 4 times more than that. What supplements I recommend? I recommend vitamin B12, 100 microgram per day. People who are vegan don't get enough vitamin B12. We should be taking vitamin B12 supplement every day. Matter of fact, I recommend vitamin B12 supplement for everyone in America, everywhere in the world actually. Vitamin B12 is very, very important. Vitamin D, if you're not getting enough sunlight, we know that there are a lot of benefits of adequate vitamin D level, and you should be taking vitamin D supplement. If you are on a zero salt diet like I am, we should be taking iodine supplement also, because only iodine we get is from the iodized salt. So if you are on zero salt diet, then you should be on iodine supplement. And I typically don't take multivitamin, but if you are on inadequate vegetables and fruits, the multivitamin is also very important. Let's talk about the newer kind of concept called intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting has been around for thousands of years. That means eating essentially within 12 to 16-hour window. So, or not eating within 12 to 16-hour window. That means finishing eating our meals within 8 to 12 hours. So, for example, if you eat breakfast at 7 a.m., not eating after 7 p.m. and having 12-hour window. The ideal window is about 16 hours. So if you can finish all your food within 8 hours, you get the maximum benefit. So create the window of 12 to 16 hours. Intermittent fasting has a significant amount of benefits. It helps with weight loss. It improves your sleep. It reduces inflammation. It lowers cholesterol. It reduces your blood pressure. It reduces the cancer rate. It has a better brain function. Matter of fact, it's been proven to increase the longevity. So is very important. Definitely late night eating, like 10 o'clock cookie or 10 o'clock ice cream, 10 o'clock bread, 10 o'clock pizza is definitely not very healthy. If you do it once in a while, I understand. But if you eat every night, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, that's very unhealthy. In terms of general nutrition recommendations, eat until you feel about 80% full. Eat about 80% full. Don't stuff yourself. Leave some room in your stomach. If possible, walk for 15 to 30 minutes after a meal, particularly after dinner, if you're having dinner, because that will prevent the sugar spikes, and that will also prevent happening pre-diabetes and diabetes. Eat at a slower rate, so chew longer and take your time to eat, because your brain doesn't get signals that you are full for 10 to 15 minutes. So if you are eating very fast, you probably will overeat and your brain will not even know. Always look for a healthy substitute. Always look for a healthy substitute, because, for example, at our house for the last 3 years now, our pasta, our chickpea pasta or lentil pasta. So we don't get the typical processed wheat pasta. We only get almost unprocessed chickpea or lentil pasta. It tastes actually, in my opinion, better than even wheat pasta, much healthier, a lot more fiber, a lot more protein, and it just tastes better, and same price, same cost. So always look for healthy substitute. Always look for healthy substitute. Also, like I said, know how much calorie you burn per day and eat accordingly. So if you need to lose weight, eat 500 calorie less. Uh, Always read the nutrition labels if you're eating any processed food. Again, avoid any kind of processed food. In my opinion, if you have to eat anything which was made in the factory, you're not eating healthy. Obviously, if you read labels for every food you eat, you are not eating healthy. But once in a while, if you eat a packaged food, learn how to read the labels. That means learn what the serving size is, how much calorie per each serving, how much saturated fat, uh, how much fiber, how much carbohydrate. Just learn how to read labels. Develop a taste for healthy food. As you start eating healthy food, as you start eating more salads, more healthy dressings, more fruits. Matter of fact, your taste buds will change in 2 to 3 weeks, and you will not miss those unhealthy food, those unhealthy animal products, those unhealthy, salty, sugary, oily food, and you will start to have a great new appreciation for the healthy food. Matter of fact, one day you'll say, "Why did I not enjoy this 15-item salad? And why was I eating French fries?" Because even though vegetarian and vegan, there are, in my opinion, there are a lot of people who are vegan, but eating Oreos is a vegan. Oreos is a vegan food, but it's not healthy. Totally processed, totally sugary, totally oily. So again, vegan doesn't mean healthy. You have to eat whole food, plant-based diet. In terms of eating, try to eat at least 18 meals, which are homemade, home-cooked meals. If you eat once in a while outside, I understand that. But if you're eating at least, if you're eating 10, 15 meals outside, if you're getting your breakfast at a fast food, if you're having dinner at a restaurant 3, 4 times a night, 3, 4 times a week, that's not very healthy. Try to eat as much at home as you can. Fortunately, lately we've been eating at home because many restaurants are closed. And I think hopefully that will start a new trend of eating at home. Again, at home, try to cook as healthy as possible. Resist the temptation of fast food restaurants. Fast food is easy to get. Many times it's cheaper, but let me tell you, long run, it's very expensive. A French fries, which costs $1 right now, will cost $8 in health 20, 30 years down the road. So again, a cheap French fries of $1 will cost you $8 to $9 in health 20 years down the road. So don't think the fast food is cheap. Fast food is fast. It's going to cause a lot of troubles in the future. Again, if somebody says, "I want to lose weight," you can lose weight if you smoke. People who would smoke typically are thin. So smoking is not a healthy way to lose weight. People who develop cancer, unfortunately, and go on chemotherapy lose weight. People who do math can lose weight. People who eat low-carb keto diet lose weight. People who are in starvation can lose weight. People who are depressed lose weight. So again, these are all the way you can lose weight, but losing weight is not the ultimate goal. Losing weight is not the ultimate goal. And like, famous Dr. Michael Greger says that if weight loss is your goal, to fit in a smaller cascade, then lose the weight. Again, if weight loss is the goal, to get smaller, to get leaner, to get thinner, to fit in a smaller cascade, then lose weight with this unhealthy method. So weight loss is not the goal. The goal is to be healthy. Goal is to live long. Goal is to live happy. So again, don't do these methods which can make you lose weight, but also make you die early. Keto diet definitely will make you die early. So we cover a lot on keto, so I'll skip right now. So how can we do that? Again, asking people to eat less doesn't work. Asking people to eat less doesn't work because eating is a joy for most people, most humans, most animals. Eating is a joy. When we don't eat, hunger takes over. We can resist the hunger for a few hours or maybe a day, but eventually hunger will take over and we will reach out to food. So eating less or not eating, in my opinion, is never going to work. So that means we have to eat. So what should we eat? That means, like we can eat, but still we be healthy. So that's where if I give you a diet, or if I give you an eating method, which we can eat as much as you want, as frequent as you want, and not worry about weight gain. If anything, you will lose the weight if you're overweight. And that diet is called diet of abundance. I call diet of abundance. That means you can eat as much as you like. And that diet, which I've been promoting for the last 3 years, I've been also saying for the last 30, 40 minutes, is the whole food plant-based diet with no oil. Again, whole food, plant-based diet with no oil. And you should be eating 1 pound of raw vegetables, 1 pound of cooked vegetables, 4 to 5 servings of food, small amount of flaxseed, just 1 tablespoon, and nuts if your body mass index is below 25. If you eat this diet, you'll be feeling full. You'll be able to eat 3 to 4 pounds, 3 to 4 pounds per day, 5 pounds per day. You need about 3 pounds to keep your stomach full all day. So if you eat this diet, whole food plant-based diet, you'll be able to eat 3 pounds. Your stomach will be happy. Your stomach will not be gurgling. You will not be hungry. You will not be fasting. You'll be eating, as much food as you like. You'll be always having satiety. You'll be always feeling full, and you will actually not gain weight. If you are overweight, matter of fact, you will start losing 1 to 2 pounds per week just by eating this diet of abundance. I call it diet of abundance. It's my own term, diet of abundance. Whole food, plant-based diet with no oil. So again, let's finish today's talk with 12 easy steps to ideal body weight. That means if you're overweight, that means if your body mass index is about 25, or if you're obese, then if you follow these 12 steps, not only you will start losing weight fast, you will get your ideal healthy body weight automatically, very quick, in a few weeks to a few months. So eat whole food, plant-based, no oil diet, or eat whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. Exercise 1 hour every day, minimal dairy and minimal animal products, minimal dairy, minimal animal products, less than 10% calories should come from animal products. No oil, salt, and sugar, no SOS, I call it, no SOS, no salt, oil, and sugar. Meditate 20 minutes per day, because a lot of the eating is emotional eating. So if you meditate regularly, your stress will go down and you will have a less emotional eating. Sleep 7 to 8 hours. We'll cover sleep in a different talk. Sleep is one of the important pillars. If you sleep less than 5 hours, I'm sure many of your experience, you automatically eat more next day, and you actually eat very unhealthy food. So if you sleep 7 to 8 hours, you will eat less next day or optimal next day and eat healthy food. Eat 1 pound of raw and cooked vegetables. Track your weight every day. If you are not tracking your weight every day, you should be getting on the scale every day. People who weigh every day typically have a high chance of weight loss success, and they maintain their ideal body weight more often. So make sure you weigh yourself every day. Get a good scale and weigh every day. And now you can get a Bluetooth scale which can track your weight on a serial way, on a graphical way on your phone. So get a scale which has a Bluetooth capabilities and track your weight on a daily basis for weeks and months. Eat in an 8-hour window, if you can, 8 to 12-hour window to have the maximum benefits of intermittent fasting. Definitely drink water. Drink at least 64 ounces of water, possibly even more, but definitely 64 ounces of water. And then before you eat your main meal, before you eat your lunch, before you eat your dinner, have a preload with a fruit, salad, or water. So for example, if you're eating dinner, just before you have your main course, have a glass of water or have a small fruit or have a salad. That will make you eat less of your main dish, and you will automatically eat less calories. And definitely eat at home at least 18 out of 21 meals, out of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. At least 18 meals out of 21. Eat at a homemade food, home cooked food. When I say eat at home, that means you don't order pizza and eat at home. You cook your own food and eat at home. So again, these are the simple 12 steps. I'm sure you can design your own method. This is kind of my method. It has worked for me. So again, we covered today the most important pillar of healthy lifestyle. We covered the most important pillar of healthy lifestyle, and that's nutrition. Today we covered the longevity in America, how long people live. Today we covered what Americans eat, the standard American diet, SAD. Today we covered the mental health, what the status is, and then we covered today the healthy eating topic. So again, today I covered the most important pillar. Today I covered the most important pillar, whole food plant-based diet. Again, if you are watching on Facebook, please share with your friends and family. If you are uh, if you can invite your friends and family to like our Facebook page. We post every day, 4, 5, 6 times a day about healthy living, about mental health. We also post about how to be successful as a parent, as a spouse, as a life partner, as a friend. We also post on different life philosophy. We also post on how to be, material success. So again, invite your friends and family to like our Facebook page. We are also on Instagram. We are growing Instagram rapidly. We have about 2,500 followers on Instagram. On Instagram, we every day we post different recipes. We are on YouTube also. On YouTube, our channel is Healthy Living with Dr. Aajay Shah. Subscribe to that channel. We have posted about 25 videos. Watch those videos when you have time. Subscribe to our channel. Uh, Again, few announcement on June 13th. On June 13th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. June 13th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. My wife Jayshree is going to be live on with Chef Aajay. Chef Aajay. Chef Aajay is one of the very prominent lifestyle chef. Look her up. She has like 90, 100,000 followers. So she will be live on June 13th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be showing 4 healthy, whole food, plant-based recipes, very tasty, very healthy. So if you are trying to get into whole food, plant-based diet, please stay tuned. June 13th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm also giving a talk on diabetes on June 6th at 1 p.m. On June 6th at 1 p.m. on diabetes. There will be a long talk. So please stay tuned for that talk also. Again, I welcome all of you for any comments, any message, any questions. I'm always available. Doing together is fun for me. Obviously, I read, I experiment on myself, and then if things work properly, then I definitely pass on to you as a friend, as a family member, and as a follower. So again, join the movement, stay healthy with this COVID-19 crisis. Hopefully, it's getting over soon. Wash your hands frequently, wear your mask when you go out, keep the social distance. Go to the public places as little as possible. We're still not done with the pandemic. We may have a second wave, so still taking care of yourself is very important. Again, once I said like in earlier that people who are healthy, COVID-19, the coronavirus will come and go, will not even affect you. Just like flu come and go, COVID-19 will come and go, and you will not have unfortunate complications of COVID-19 or coronavirus. So again, if you are healthy, you can sustain any kind of illness, any kind of viral bacterial illness. So try to stay healthy as much as possible. Today, I covered the nutrition. I will cover more on the other 6 pillars. They're starting tomorrow. So stay tuned for tomorrow. Thank you. Have a great evening. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.